Hello, wine enthusiasts. Welcome to the Daily Taste for Friday, June 3rd, 2022. Working in a winery is one of the most fulfilling jobs for people like me who are passionate about wine. It's not just the beauty of the vineyards or the satisfaction of working with your hands to make something that people love. One of my favorite aspects of working in a winery is all the great people you get to meet and all the great stories you get to hear. This reminds me of Mary Ann Turrentine, the Director of Sales and Hospitality at the great Paradigm Winery in Oakville. I interviewed Mary Ann for episode number 3 of the Obsessed with Wine podcast, and she told her story of pursuing a job and getting hired at Paradigm. It's a great story, so I figured this would be perfect to share on a Friday.
Kind of a funny story. I had heard about Paradigm and I was interviewing for other jobs. I was ready to work somewhere else. And I popped into Paradigm and I had a resume in my car. So I left it in there for Ren and met him. And then he called me in for an interview the next day. And it was we just kind of hit it off. Like, it just felt very right, like being there. And I don't know, it was just funny. The only question that Marilyn asked me was what was my horoscope sign, which I think is so funny.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, Ren was like, that's just like so important. Like, my wife will want to know. I think he was just kind of joking, but I got a kick out of that. And so he and I got in the car and we rode around the vineyard, and I was asking about the vines and why they were taller, and we were talking about music. He had B.B. King playing in his car, and I had just seen B.B. King at the Uptown Theater in Napa.
Wow.
And Ren asked me how much I paid for the ticket, and I said, it was like $100. And he said he saw him for 50 cents in San Francisco. So we just had this thing where we were talking about that, and I just really liked it, and I felt really good there. Like, there was just great energy there. They're really good people, and I just knew they were. And that it was going to be a place where I could really kind of work for a while. And I had another interview somewhere else that day. And then I got home, I was writing them thank you letters. And Ren called me back and said, hey, can you come back today? And it was International Women's Day, so I'll never forget it.
Wow.
And March 8th in 2014, and I went back and they hired me on the spot. And I was like, I was just writing you a thank you letter. And he was like, well, you can still do that. So I did. I finished it and I sent it to him like, thank you. I'm so excited to work here. And that's just it. So now I've just been there for 8 years.
Those who are fortunate to work in wine and make a living all have great stories like this. If you want to hear my great interview with the talented Mary Ann Turrentine, listen to episode number 3 of the podcast on the show website or anywhere you get your podcasts. Don't forget to listen to episode number 15 of the Obsessed with Wine podcast this Saturday, June 4th, when I interview Kim Myers, the owner of the Northwest Wine Shuttle in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. She was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. I'll see you Monday for another Daily Taste. Have a great weekend. Cheers!